What's up, you guys? This is Jenny, and this is our Slow Flow class. I actually just got back from Seattle this week, spending a lot of time with my family, and it was so fun. And we had such a great time. Like, it was such an interesting perception that I was having about just life in general and relationships with other people. And, when you grow up not knowing your family, and then suddenly you find them, there's a deep appreciation over the relationship that you create and the bonds that form within that space, and the ability to have aunts and uncles and cousins and extended family is such an incredible gift. It's something that a lot of people, I think, who have family with them every single day tend to take it for granted, like we do a lot of things, right? You allow things to become mundane. You no longer see the incredible beauty or the amazing gift that it is, And it's our job to ensure that we are not allowing things to become mundane. And not only that we're not allowing things to become mundane, but that we're always, always, always taking every opportunity to also express our most pure sense of self to other people and places and things, right? Like, everything is an opportunity to inject a part of my being into that energetic space. So I thought it was really interesting just kind of watching how that goes, and just how even like meeting my new family and being around them, I always have to resist this urge to like play the part of like what I think other people want me to be, or what they want to see, or anything of that nature. I'm constantly having to remind myself to show up as authentically as I possibly can, to not allow the desire to please others to override my authentic expression. And I'm constantly having to check myself, and ensure that I'm still showing up as authentically as I can. And, I get that it's not like we're trying to fake it. We're not trying to wear the mask. It's just such an ingrained aspect of our being that we have been taught to masquerade ourselves to become like the other, right? So that we're accepted and loved. And I have a quote for you guys today that I really liked, and I thought I would read it for you guys. It says, "You're divinely guided by spirit at all times. Know that spirit makes no mistakes. When there's a strong desire within you to express or create something, know that this feeling is divine discontent. Your longing is your calling, and no matter what it is, if you go with it, you'll be guided, guarded, and assured of success. When a purpose or path is laid before you, you have the choice to just trust and let it flow, or remain stuck in fear. Trusting the perfection that resides within you is the key. I know that it can be frightening. Everybody is afraid of something, but you can do it anyways. Remember, the universe loves you and wants you to succeed at everything you do. You're expressing yourself creatively every moment of every day. You're being you in your own unique way, knowing that you can now realize any false mental beliefs that you're not creative, and go forward with each and every project that comes to mind. And that's not just with projects, that's also with our relationships. That's with everything that we engage in. Just following the flow of expression, allowing everything to be that opportunity to express the authenticity. And this is something I talk to you guys about a lot, because it's one of the most fundamental things. It's what we're here to do, is the self-realization, to know the self, not the egoic version of self that we want to create for the perception of others, but uncovering the truth of our being, realizing the truth of who and what we are on a soul level, right? And something I think that hangs up a lot of people is this concept, or this ideal of like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I don't know who I am. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with my life. I don't know. We're so focused on this doing. There is no doing. There's only allowing. There is only the living every moment as if it were new. Like, removing the mundane, looking at everything as an opportunity to express the self, looking at everything as an opportunity for a new experience, new life, new experiences that go far beyond what we've allowed ourselves to do the thing we've never done before, right? To uncover the incredible stuff that lays underneath each and every moment, because there's magic in every single thing. It's only our perception that would say otherwise. And so that's something that I want us to kind of be thinking about today, of like, am I in the flow? You know, even like when I'm with my family, am I sitting there thinking about how do they want me to show up? How should I say this thing? How should I act with this kind of situation? And it's not like, again, I said, we're not doing this in an effort to, you know, make ourselves look like these spectacular things that we're achieving all this stuff, or sometimes it's just an effort to be accepted and loved and all of that stuff. And so looking at how am I showing up, like all the time, not even in a reference of like achievement, like I said, because that's a lot of the ways that I think we tend to edit ourselves, is like, okay, I'm trying to achieve this thing, so I'm going to show these other people this outer projection of what I think they want so I can become this marketable good, right? This is different. This is more of like, you know, am I editing my behavior so that I can get that love and acceptance and approval and all of those kinds of things? Am I still showing up even with the people who I have the most intimate relationships with in a very authentic way? Am I showing them the full truth of my being? Or am I constantly concerned about editing that aspect of myself that I think that they're not going to lovingly accept so that I can experience love and connection? And you know, what I've found is when you're meant to be with somebody, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And honestly, and in fact, the more you show up authentically, the more you stop editing yourself, the more you show up in that most unique way, the more they gravitate towards you. So we end up actually putting a wall between us when we create these false perceptions of ourselves for them, as opposed to allowing for the full depth of connection with no barriers in between us of the authentic expression. Okay. So I just even want us thinking about that today. Like, am I showing up fully and completely in the flow of my life, you know, with even the people who I'm in my most intimate relationships with? Or am I constantly still editing how I say things? Am I worried about how I'm expressing myself in front of them, if it's authentic to me, you know? Or am I not even showing them that version of myself because I'm afraid of what they're going to think about me? You know, because these are the relationships that we're most concerned to lose. It's not the ones that, you know, we just meet somebody on the street, or they're a business partner connection, or introduced that way. It's the people who we fear the loss of relationship the most. And then we end up shooting ourselves in the foot because we actually end up creating more distance. So, you know, am I showing up that way in any of my very close personal relationships? Am I still editing myself? Am I still like asking myself all of these mental questions when I'm sitting with them of like, ooh, should I say that? Ooh, should I act like this? Oh, did I say something? Did what I just said, is that going to be okay with them? You know, if we're constantly hyper focused on the negative aspects of our expression of our being, that means we think we're not enough. That means we think not only are we not enough potentially, that we're bad or wrong, or that we're not okay. And so we have to stop looking at ourselves through those eyes and lovingly accept the truth of our being, and knowing that the people who lovingly accept us are meant to have a seat at our table, and the ones who don't are not ready for us, and it's okay. We don't have to have it. If it's meant to be, it's going to happen. If we're meant to have that deep connection, they're going to lovingly accept us in our truth. And that is the best relationship. That's the best connection, because those are so full of truth and honesty and openness and freedom to be ourselves. And we all need that freedom. And so today, what we're going to be doing in our practice is we're going to be doing our sun salutations, the Surya Namaskar, the honoring the sun. And they're really powerful. And this can be a whole practice. Just your sun salutations can be your personal practice at home. Because, of course, I always encourage you guys, especially if you're only like signed up for like this class and you're not taking other yoga classes during the week, You need to have a personal practice. Movement is medicine. You need to be doing things for yourself. And just these sun salutations can be your whole full practice, because you're working every chakra, every energetic center. You're working multiple areas of your body, your physical body, which is super important. So in these postures, you're working on, and you can do this as a beginner, which is awesome, but it's going to benefit every part of your body. And you don't want to rush. You don't want to push yourself through, but it's going to work on your strength, your core strength, your flexibility, the tone of your body. It's going to open your hamstrings, your shoulders, your chest, releasing tension. And as you move through these poses, you're also lubricating the joints. So in turn, aiding in keeping the full range of motion in the body. So it's really, really powerful for that reason. And we'll go ahead and talk about why it's so important energetically. So there's 12 or so poses, and you can also edit these sun salutations to be what you want, what feels best to you. You can add or take away a lot of these postures. And so they're a linked series that lengthen, strengthen, flex the main muscles of the body while distributing the prana flow throughout the system. There's lots of variations. So like I said, you can add and take away in whatever way feels best to you. But they say that this is also like awakening your own being, the interior of your own being. It's literally like shining a light within. And that is what is so important. So we're calling the sun. And here in Texas, we've been having tons of rain, tons of dark skies. So now we're welcoming the sunshine back in. We're allowing that light to shine. It's that symbol of consciousness and self-illumination. The world begins with the coming of the light. And so we're shining that light into the darkness, and it's informing the spiritual world of all people and molded it into its shape. So it's a really beautiful set of postures. It's meant to draw that awakening, that awareness back inside, shine the light back inside of us. And as we're calling that light in today through our sun salutations, and we're shining the light on the interior of our being into all of the darkness, all of those spaces that feel so big and scary most of the time, and then you shine the light on them and they just totally disappear in front of you, right? It's not as big as you thought it was. It's not as scary as you thought it was. When the lights were off, it could be as big as your imagination would allow it to be. When the light is shined on it, you see it in its truth, and it becomes much more acceptable, much more bearable, much more digestible, right? So I want us to shine that light on the interior of our being. I want us to shine the light on the truth of who and what we are, and allow that light to charge the light within our own being so that we can radiate from that truth, radiate from that most genuine, authentic expression of our being. Okay, so that's what I really kind of want us focused on today during our sun salutations, illuminating that interior of our own being. When we're in those downward dog, or not downward dog, downward dog, pyramid posture, we're building, we're charging that ball of energy at the center of our being. So as we're charging that ball, you can even visualize that beautiful golden, orange or yellow ball at the center of our being here, that we're charging it, allowing it to illuminate, that it is going to express itself through our being, through the rest of our postures. So just thinking about all of those kinds of things today, anything that I mentioned today that felt like something that's for you, grab onto that and allow that to be your focus for your practice today. Or if there's something else that you feel like you need to work on today, then bring that forward and allow that to be part of your practice. Okay, this is our safe space. This is where we come back to the self. So whatever that looks like for you today, we're going to call that energy forward. So let's just go ahead and get started in our practice today by grounding into our easy seated posture, grounding through those sits bones, feeling those roots growing out from all of the points of contact from the body to the earth, rooting us and connecting us into this time and space, remembering this is my time, this is my space. There are no mistakes in spirit. I am here for a reason, not to do, not to achieve, but to live, to express myself into this time and space. without any hindrance, without any filter, just allowing and accepting. As those roots permeate through the earth's crust, allow them to go deeper into those layers of rock, down into the caverns, the open spaces. Those underground bodies of water, all the way down to the earth's core, that hot molten lava core. And then releasing through those big dense roots that are anchoring you into this earth, all of those things that are no longer serving you today, all of those false perceptions of people pleasing, of having to show up a specific way to be accepted and loved, all of the barriers or limitations that you have created within yourself that keep you from accessing that most authentic expression of your own being. Dropping the shoulders back and down, feeling that spine becoming a little bit longer, allowing the collarbones to rise up just a bit. Dropping the chin ever so slightly back and down, and feeling the crown of the head radiating into the sky. And that beautiful radiant light expressing itself from the heart space, that magnetic energy that emanates from the heart. That internal vibration. We're going to start with our breath of fire this morning. So dropping those fingertips outside of those hips, framing the body. We're going to inhale, draw the arms overhead at a 60-degree angle. Bend the fingers so that they curl them into the pads of the hands, so the fingertips are just resting into those pads. Thumbs are pointed directly upwards into the sky, plugging our own energy into that cosmic, divine source energy, that well of all energetic things that exist within this time and space. We're going to be using that navel point center, forcefully pressing it in and out to achieve this breath. In and out through the nostrils. But if you're on your moon cycle pregnant, you have any hypertension or glaucoma or any other contraindications, please use your long, deep breaths instead, asthma, anything like that. Inhale to begin. Exhale. And then inhale. Using that breath of fire to burn away all of the energy of everything that is no longer serving you, everything that is no longer in alignment with the truth of your being. You should feel that navel forcefully pressing itself out and then drawing the navel in sharply towards the spine. And that air is going to naturally flow in and out through the nose. You're not using your lungs. You're not using the upper portion of your lungs. All of the breath work comes from the belly. Inhale, take those thumbs to touch overhead. Suspend your breath if you can. And then exhale, super, super slow, gentle and easy. Spread those fingers nice and wide and release those fingertips back down into the earth. Super slow. Inhale, we're going to gaze over the left shoulder. Exhale, we're going to gaze over the right shoulder as you keep those fingertips grounded into the mat. Come back to center, and this time we're going to take it in the opposite direction. Inhaling over the right shoulder and exhaling over the left. Through the nostrils, eyes are closed. Tension is focused at your brow point center, inward and upward, towards your place of intuition. Back to center. Inhale, arms are going to come back overhead. Reaching those fingertips into the earth, you're going to bend your thumbs in towards the pads of your hand. Exhale, drop the elbows down into alignment with the shoulders, and you're going to squeeze the shoulders together, pressing the chest forward. Inhale up and exhale down. Inhale, lift those arms up overhead. Exhale, you're going to drop your right hand behind your right glute. Left hand comes to the outside of the left thigh. Twist and gaze over your right shoulder if it feels safe on your neck. And just breathe into the body. If on your exhalation you feel the desire to take your twist a little bit deeper, feel free to do so. Otherwise, just continue to breathe wherever it is that you feel that nice stretch. Remembering that we're never pressing into pain or tingling or numbness. Always honoring the body. Untwisting the spine, reach the arms back overhead. Exhale, left hand comes behind left glute, right hand comes to the outside of the right thigh. Take the twist on the other side. Untwist the spine, super slow and gentle, drawing the arms back overhead. And then exhale, hinging forward from those hips, releasing the palms of the hands down into the earth, allowing that third eye to gently rest into the mat. And breathing into the body. And then use your core strength to inhale, hinge back up, lifting those fingertips into the sky. Exhaling and super slow, gentle release those fingertips back down into the earth. Continue to ground your energy for a moment with those eyes closed, breathing into the body, aware of your own truth, your own soul expression. And honor that truth by removing any limitations that are ready to leave you today. Any barriers or walls that you have created from the outside in, or vice versa, any barriers that you may have created from the inside out. And then we're going to rise up into our tabletop position, coming up onto your hands and knees, ensuring that you're in alignment by making sure that their shoulders are stacked on top of the wrists, hips on top of the knees. Navel is drawn upward towards the spine. That core is engaged. Gaze is between the two hands. Take a moment to just look at those beautiful hands and just considering all of the incredible things that they are responsible for. All of the giving and taking, all of the touch, the hugs, they share that love that radiates from within your own being, all of the beauty that they have created, all of the magnificent things that they have done. Feeling into gratitude for the beauty of those hands. Moving into our cat-cow stretches. Lifting through the tailbone, allowing that belly to naturally drop down towards the earth and taking the gaze forward. Tucking the tailbone, rounding through the spine, taking the chin to the chest for the cat, allowing the crown of the head to fall towards the earth. Inhaling into your cow, exhaling into your cat. And just continue on. Moving that spine as fast or as slow as you need to continue to warm up that body for the rest of your practice. Inhale back to center. We're going to lengthen through our right leg, kick it out. You can flex those toes or point them. Exhale. Draw that knee upward towards your forehead. Inhale, lengthen through the leg. Exhale, pull it in. Exhale, release that knee down into the earth. We're going to take it to the other side. Inhale, lengthen through the left leg. Flex those toes or point them. Breathing into the body. Exhale, pull the knee in towards the forehead. Inhale, kick it out. Exhale, release that knee back down into the earth and shifting those hips side to side for a moment. Come back to center and start to take those deep, sweeping hip circles. Dropping the glutes back towards the heels, drawing them upward towards the right, the front, and then the left. Continuing on that counterclockwise motion. Inhaling from the front to the back. Exhaling from the back to the front. Next time you find yourself towards the front of that rotation, take it in the opposite direction. Inhale, come back up into your tabletop position. Curl your toes under. Press those hips into the sky, downward facing dog, releasing those heels towards the mat, pressing the belly towards the thighs, gazing towards the shin bones. And breathe into your body. Shifting your gaze towards the top of the mat, step or float towards the top. Hanging in your forward fold, feet are about hips width distance apart. Pick up those toes, plant them back down into the earth, creating space in between each toe. You can keep those fingertips grounded into the earth or take your pinkies into opposite elbows, finding some gentle movement or remaining in stillness. You can even take your hands behind your calves, drawing the forehead towards the knees. Most importantly, releasing the weight of the crown of the head to the earth. Breathe into the body. Don't settle for nice, for pleasant, for familiar. Keep looking until you find something that really moves you, that resonates with your core. And I mean this for people, interests, for hobbies, for possessions, clothes, music, books, art, everything. Curate every aspect of your life as much as you can. It's in the things that deeply inspire us that we find ourselves. Surround yourself with truth, and you'll have built yourself a heaven. Really slow with grace and ease, gentle bend in the knees, rolling up through the spine, vertebra by vertebra. Gaze should be the last thing to come forward. As you inhale and lift those arms overhead, reaching through those fingertips. Exhale, I want you to cactus out those arms. Palms of the hands are forward. Fingertips are spread wide, pressing the heart space forward. As you squeeze the shoulder blades towards one another. Inhale, lift the fingertips back into the sky. And exhale, hinging forward from those hips. Swan diving forward. Allow those fingertips to graze the earth, and then inhale. Rise up into your half lift. Crown of the head is shining forward. Palms are in prayer pose. Thumbs are tucked into the breastbone, or the palms are gently resting on the shin bones. Just listening to your body. Exhale, release. Dropping those fingertips back down into the earth, releasing the crown of the head into the mat. Bending the knees, rolling up through the spine. Arms come overhead. Exhale, cactus out the arms. Inhale, rise up with those fingers, draw them into the sky, and then exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, drop those fingertips down into the earth. We're just kind of moving towards those sun salutations, waking up all of those parts of our body. Roll up through the spine. Draw the arms overhead. Exhale, cactus out the arms. Inhale, fingertips rise into the sky. And exhale, hinging forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release the fingertips into the sky. And one more time at your own pace. Matching your breath with your movement. Roll up through the spine, draw the arms overhead. Take those hands into prayer pose and release those hands into the heart space, plugging the thumb into the breastbone. Close the eyes and breathe into the body, feeling all four corners of both feet grounded into the earth beneath you, anchoring you, connecting you. Getting ready for our sun salutations. Remembering the illumination that comes with the sun. Invoking that sun energy into our body, even when it's cloudy outside, even when it's raining, we can invoke that sun energy within our own being, supercharging our energetic space and opening ourselves up by shining the light on all of the darkness that exists within our own being. Inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, cactusing out the arms. We're going to do 12 sun salutations. Inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, hinging forward from those hips. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release those fingertips down into the mat. You're going to step or float back for your plank posture. Shoulders are stacked on top of the wrists. Heels are dropped towards the back wall, long, straight center line of the body, keeping the elbows in tight towards your rib cage. We're going to release the body down into the earth. Inhale, we're going to come into our upward facing dog or cobra. So pressing into the palms, keeping those shoulders stacked on top of the wrists, pressing the floor away from the body with the hands. Exhale, curl the toes under, press the hips into the sky. Downward facing dog. Shifting the gaze forward. Stepping or floating towards the top of the mat. We're going to walk through 3 more of these together, and then we're going to move through the remaining 8 at our own pace. Inhale, rise up. Adding or taking away any postures that feel comfortable or safe to you. Exhale, cactus out the arms. Inhale, fingertips rise into the sky. Exhale, hinging forward from the hips. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release those hands into your mat. Step or float back, plank posture, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, curl the toes under, downward facing dog. Stepping or floating towards the hands. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, cactusing out the arms. Inhale, lift the fingertips into the sky. Exhale, hinging forward from the hips, feeling so strong, so connected. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, drop those hands into the earth, plank posture. Releasing the heart space towards the earth. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, curl the toes under. Press the hips into the sky, downward dog. Make your way towards the top of your mat. One more time together, roll it up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, arms come overhead. And exhale, swan diving forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release those hands into the mat, step back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Stepping towards your hands, take the rest of your 8 sun salutations at your own pace. Meeting in that standing posture, Tadasana, hands at heart center, mountain pose, arms framing the body, palms of the hands forward. Allow it to become meditative. Building your energy, building your place of personal power. We're not expending energy, we're building it. Shifting the mindset. You can move as fast or as slow as you need to. Keep moving through those sun salutations. I will allow space for all the feelings my heart holds. I will not cower or hide from myself. It's okay to feel the ugly, messy things. It's okay to feel the burning brilliance of beauty. It's okay to feel the soft winds of happiness and the quiet bursts of loneliness. It's okay to feel it all. It's okay to be myself. all of myself. We're going to 12, and then meeting in those Tadasana or mountain poses. You have so much more strength than you think. If you need to modify, modify. Remember, there's no rush. Moving through your postures. Be sure to breathe into the body. Whenever you're ready, slowly and gently, in that Tadasana or mountain pose, open up those eyes. Breathe into the body. Make sure you have a towel to towel off if you need to. I'm sweating pretty well. Inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, cactus out the arms. Inhale, arms rise into the sky, lengthening through the body. Exhale, left hand comes down the left thigh. Reach through the right fingertips towards the opposite wall. Inhale to center, arm comes overhead. Releasing the right hand down the right thigh, reaching through the left arm this time. Inhale back to center, arm comes overhead. Exhale, super slow and gentle, releasing them down the side. Clasp those hands behind the back. Draw the shoulder blades together and lift the gaze towards the sky, allowing the crown of the head to fall to the back wall if it feels safe. Bending through those knees. We're going to exhale, hinge forward, releasing the chest down onto the thighs, fists rise into the sky. Inhale, use your core strength to rise back up and release those hands. We're going to cross our left foot over our right. Exhale, we're going to hinge forward from those hips. Walk the hands over to the left side. And then the right. take those hands in front of those toes. Use your core strength to inhale, rise up. We're going to take it to the opposite side. Uncross those legs. Pedal out those knees if you need to. Cross it over. Right foot over left this time. Exhale, hinging forward from the hips. Walk those hands towards the right side first. And then the left. Hands come back in front of the toes. Use your core strength to inhale and rise up. Uncross those legs and pedal it out. We're going to come into our tree posture. So grounding through your right leg, kick out through the left. This can be your full expression of tree. Or you can draw it up onto the calf, slide that foot up, never resting your foot on the joint of the ankle or the knee. Or you can take the foot up into the thigh. You can come into half lotus. Just listen to your body and whatever your fullest expression of tree is today. Take that posture. Using your Drishti gaze, that one point of still focus, that extra point of contact from the body to the earth, that one point on the wall or the floor, focusing your attention on that one spot. Inhale, arms can come up, reaching those tree branches upwards into the sky towards the sunshine, allowing the light to shine down on you. Cascading down your fingertips into the palms of your hands, down the arms, into the shoulders, and then making its way into the heart. Keeping the spine nice and straight. On your next exhalation, take those knees forward, release the feet into the earth, pedal out through those legs so we can take it to the opposite side. This time grounding through the left foot. Kick out through the right leg. Make sure that knee is directly pointed towards the side wall. Hips are completely open. Both hip points are pointed towards the wall in front of you. Taking your fullest expression of tree posture on this opposite side. Reaching those arms overhead. Growing those tree branches into the sky if you can. Take it in. Pedal out those legs. Inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, cactusing out the arms. Inhale, reach your fingertips into the sky, and exhale, hinging forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release those hands into the mat. We're going to take those feet a little more than hips width distance apart. Toes come out at a 45-degree angle, releasing the glutes down towards the earth for that Malasana posture, that squatting posture. You can take those elbows inside of the knees. Spine is nice and straight and long. And breathe. If you can't sit flat-footed, you can place a rolled up blanket or something underneath the heels. Drop those hands into the earth. Come down onto those knees. Release your glutes into the mat and swing the legs around in front of you. Lengthen through the legs. Inhale, arms come overhead. And then exhale, hinging forward. Drop those hands wherever they fall on the shin bones, or take those hands around the feet. Just listen to your body. Keeping the gaze forward, crown of the head shining into the sky. Really slow and gentle inhale and rise up. Bend your knees, planting the soles of the feet into the mat. And then exhale, release the spine, vertebra by vertebra. Use the core strength to take you down into the earth. This is where it gets hard for me to hold on to my mic. On your next inhalation, knees come into the chest so we can start to wind down and complete our practice today. Holding on to just the right leg. Inhale, lengthen through the left. Exhale, take it slowly and gently down into the earth and reaching out through the right arm. Left hand comes to the outside of the right leg so that you can pull it across the body as you keep those shoulders grounded into the earth, gazing over the right fingertips if it feels safe on the neck. And just breathing into that spinal twist, balancing those pranic and aponic energies. Focusing predominantly on the pranic energy, the energy that moves in and up the right side of the body. Untwisting the spine, taking the knees back into the chest. Give yourself a nice squeeze. Hug yourself and really feel into the beauty of your own unique vibration. That unique, incredible, beautiful expression of humanity. Holding on to just the left leg, inhale, lifting up through the right. Release it super, super slow down into the earth. Extending through the left arm, take the right hand outside of the left leg and pull it across. Focusing now on the aponic energies that move down and out upon the left side of the body. Untwist the spine very, very slow with grace and ease and take those knees back into the chest. Another squeeze. Identifying yourself not just as self, but as God energy, expressing itself through your human existence. You are an aspect of God itself, source energy, divine universal energy, cosmic stuff. Grabbing onto the outside edge of those feet, finding your happy baby posture as you drop the knees in towards the armpits, taking those gentle movements side to side or back and forth. Releasing those feet whenever you're ready so that you can find your final Shavasana. Time to wind down, to relax, to release. Drop the shoulders down away from the ears, allowing the arms to frame the body. Palms face up to receive or face down to ground. Giving the feet permission to fall to the side and breathe. Inhaling and exhaling and relaxing deeper on every exhalation. Letting go of everything that's no longer serving you. Mark Twain said, "Why not go out on a limb? That's where the fruit is." Be your fullest sense of self. Do all the things. Go out on a limb. Let the story of who you were send shivers down the spines of our granddaughters and grandsons. Let them hear about you as the woman who was herself and did her own thing, or the man that was himself and did his own thing, and helped others along the way. Go out on a limb. The fullness of who you are deeply matters. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone. Not only is there room for you, your presence is needed. Very, very slowly, with grace and ease, start coming back to the body, back to the breath, focusing on the rise and the fall of the belly. With every inhalation and exhalation, gently wiggling the fingers and toes. Taking more movement by wrapping the hands around the wrists or the feet around the ankles if you wish to do so. Taking those full body stretches by reaching those arms in the opposite direction, or gentle cat stretches. Take the knees into the chest and rock side to side or back and forth. Until you finally rock and roll yourself upright into a comfortable seated position so that we can complete our practice today. Taking those hands into prayer pose, tucking your thumbs into your breastbone, utilizing that mantra, Sat Nam, I am truth. Truth is my name. Truth is my identity, to complete our practice 3 times. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Inhale to begin. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Namaste. I honor that divine truth that exists within each and every one of you, that God aspect of who and what you are. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you guys had an awesome class, and I will look forward to seeing you all next week. Bye.